Hey there, and welcome. Today we're talking about a mindset shift that can totally change the game for your English learning. We're going to look at how to take all that frustration and turn it into fuel for a fun, exciting adventure. You know, for so many of us, the journey starts with a feeling a lot like this. Right? Sometimes learning a language with all its grammar and new words, it can feel like you're standing at the bottom of this huge, massive mountain, just staring all the way up to the top.
So let's be honest. Have you ever felt like that? That sense of being totally overwhelmed, thinking that the goal is just way too far away? It's a super common feeling. And believe me, if you felt it, you are so not alone.
And when we feel that way, this voice usually shows up, our inner critic. It's the one that whispers these really unhelpful things, right? Thoughts that make us feel down, and even worse, make us want to quit. But here's the secret. That voice doesn't have to be the one in charge. We just need to give our inner coach something to say. And that is exactly what we're going to do. We're going to unlock a superpower that's already waiting inside your mind. It's all about changing your perspective and really taking control of your own learning story.
So, what is this superpower? It's positive thinking. But hold on, this isn't just about, hoping for the best. It's an active, powerful tool. Think of it like a strategy. It's about reframing challenges, building real confidence, and turning what felt like a chore into an adventure you're actually excited about.
So, how do we actually do it? Well, I'm going to walk you through a really simple 5-part toolkit. Think of these as the essential pieces of gear you're going to need for your new English learning adventure. Okay, so here's our toolkit. 5 simple ideas designed to shift your mindset from pressure to positivity and actually make this journey enjoyable. Let's break down that first one. Our first tool is all about being kind to yourself, and I absolutely love this metaphor. Imagine your language skills are like a flower you're growing. It needs time, patience, and care. You wouldn't stand there yelling at a plant to grow faster, right? So we really shouldn't do that to ourselves. Patience is everything.
Next up, let's totally change how we think about mistakes. Instead of seeing a brick wall, we're going to see a path forward. So, for example, a thought like, "This is too difficult" becomes, "This is new and I'm learning." And "I made a mistake" turns into, "Great, a mistake is a chance to learn." These little shifts, these are your power phrases.
And this is just so important. A mistake is not a sign that you're failing. You know what it is? It's proof that you are trying. It's a sign that you're being brave. If you're not making mistakes, you're probably not pushing yourself. We have to start seeing them as our teachers, showing us the way.
Okay, our third tool is all about setting small goals. A huge goal like become fluent can feel, impossible. So instead, let's focus on things you can actually do today, like learn 3 new words, or just listen to 1 English song. See? These steps are small, achievable, and not scary at all. And here's the magic behind this. Every single time you check off one of these tiny goals, you get this little rush of success. You get to think, "Hey, I did that." And that feeling, it builds your confidence. And that confidence makes you want to do it again tomorrow. It creates this amazing positive cycle. Which brings us right to tool number 4. Celebrate your progress. Don't just learn your 3 words and move on. No, take a second. Actually feel proud of yourself. Give yourself that mental high five.
You have got to be your own biggest cheerleader on this journey. And finally, maybe the most important tool of all, make it fun. Come on, learning should not feel like a punishment. You need to connect English to things you already love to do. If you're a movie person, watch your favorites in English. Love music? Find the lyrics and sing along. That way, it doesn't even feel like studying anymore. So we have our toolkit. Now let's talk about why it works so well. Because this isn't just about feeling good for the sake of it. This has a real, measurable impact on your brain's ability to learn. It really is as simple as this. When you're stressed out, anxious, or beating yourself up, your brain is just not in the right state to soak up new information. But when you're relaxed, you're positive, you're engaged, well, that's when your brain is fired up and ready to learn. And this creates this amazing chain reaction, this formula for success. It all kicks off with just one positive thought. That thought builds a little bit of confidence. That confidence makes you less afraid to practice, to speak out loud, to just try. And all that practice leads directly to better English. See how it works? It's a powerful cycle. So, the big question is, where do you start? And the beautiful thing about this is, you don't have to wait for anything. Your adventure can start right now, this very minute, with one tiny choice in how you think. The power is in these simple little switches. Just changing one word from I have to study to I get to learn turns a burden into an opportunity. Or instead of my accent is bad, trying on my accent is part of who I am. That removes so much fear. This is how you start. And when you make that little shift, we come full circle. The journey is no longer about climbing some big, scary mountain. With this toolkit, with this mindset, it becomes an exciting adventure, one that's filled with small wins and cool discoveries every single day. So, I'll leave you with this question. What's one small, positive step you're going to take on your English adventure today? Are you going to learn 3 new words? Listen to a song? Or maybe just change one negative thought into a power phrase? Your adventure starts right now.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. So you've given us a really interesting set of sources this time. They seem to tackle maybe one of the biggest hurdles in learning anything new, right?
Yeah.
Especially languages.
That's right. We're talking about the mental game.
Yeah, the mental game. So we're diving deep into how to use a positive attitude, but strategically, not just, think happy thoughts.
Exactly. Not just feel-good slogans. It's about seeing it as a tool, a cognitive tool, that the sources argue can actually, radically improve how fast and how well you learn.
Okay. So practical steps, mindset shifts. The goal here, according to this material, is turning language learning from this huge, stressful mountain
into what they keep calling an exciting adventure, which sounds nice, but they actually break down how you do that.
Right. So our mission today is basically to build a blueprint for that positive mindset. And I guess we have to start by facing the enemy, that negative self-talk that gets in the way.
Yeah, that's the big one. The sources are really clear about this cognitive roadblock. It stops progress almost before it starts.
It's that loop, isn't it? The voice in your head when you mess up.
Exactly. It's those thoughts like, ugh, I make so many mistakes, or my speaking just isn't good enough, that kind of thing.
Or the classic comparison trap. Everyone else is getting this faster than me.
That one's particularly tough.
Yeah.
And the result isn't just feeling bad.
No, the sources say it actually does something, right?
Yeah.
Leads to stress, feeling down.
And wanting to just stop, to quit studying. And they frame this as a genuine cognitive barrier, not just feelings.
Can you unpack that a bit, the cognitive part?
Well, yeah, the sources touch on some neurological evidence, basically. They put it simply. But the idea is stress actually blocks memory formation.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, when you're anxious about speaking or making mistakes, your brain literally becomes less good at holding on to new information. It's like you're sabotaging yourself without meaning to.
Okay, so negative thoughts are like hitting the brakes on learning.
Pretty much, which is why they position positive thinking as the way to override that. It's the fuel, maybe, the fuel for your brain to learn effectively.
Got it. So let's dig into the strategy. Where do we start? The sources talk about a foundation first. Something about kindness.
Yes, the absolute foundation is be kind to yourself. Principle number 1. Learning takes time. It's a process. You can't rush it.
And they have that analogy, right, the one about planting a flower. I thought that was quite good.
It really is. Simple, but effective. You plant a seed, you give it water, sunlight.
And then you wait.
Exactly, you wait. You don't yell at the flower, grow faster, why aren't you blooming yet?
Right. You'd look ridiculous.
You would. So the parallel is you need that same patience with yourself as a learner. Give yourself the input, do the practice, but don't beat yourself up if fluency doesn't happen overnight. Growth has its own schedule.
Okay, nurture, don't demand.
Mm-hmm.
But being patient is hard when that inner voice is being critical. Which brings us to the next point, changing the narrative.
Yes, key principle 2. Actively changing your internal narrative. It's about catching those negative thoughts as they happen.
So it takes effort. It's not passive.
No, definitely not. It's an active mental exercise. The source of stress, you should immediately reframe it. So if you think, ugh, this grammar's just too hard, I'll never get it.
You stop that thought.
You stop it and you consciously replace it. You say to yourself, this is new and I am learning.
Oh, okay. This is new. That feels different. It's not I'm failing. This is just unfamiliar territory right now.
Precisely. It injects hope. It frames the struggle as temporary, part of the process, not a sign of permanent inability.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And the biggest trigger for that negative voice is probably mistakes.
Right.
Especially when you're trying to speak.
Absolutely. Which is why the sources say we need a revolution in how we see errors. Principle 3, love your mistakes.
Love them. That sounds challenging. How do you actually do that beyond just saying it?
It's again about the immediate reframe. Instead of that sinking feeling, that embarrassment or frustration, you train yourself to think, great, a mistake. This is my chance to learn something.
Okay, so mistakes aren't failures. They're data points.
Yeah.
Feedback.
Exactly. The sources call them teachers. They're essential. They show you where the gaps are.
And they also said something about mistakes being proof you're trying.
Yes. Proof that you're being brave, that you're pushing yourself. If you never made mistakes, you'd just be saying the 3 sentences you already know perfectly.
Right. To be stuck in a safe zone. Mistakes mean you're actually stepping outside that zone.
That's the idea. It flips the script entirely. Risk-taking is validated, even necessary.
Okay, so foundation laid. Be kind. Reframe negativity. Embrace mistakes. Now, what about the doing part? The practical stuff day to day. Mindset's crucial, but it won't teach me French verbs.
Right. So now we move to the actionable steps, away from huge, vague goals like become fluent someday.
Which just feels massive and, frankly, terrifying.
Totally. So strategy 1 is set small goals, tiny ones, goals for today.
Like, really small. The example seemed almost too easy.
And that's intentional. They have to be achievable, not scary. Like, today I will learn 3 new words. Just 3. Or, today I'll listen to 1 song in English and try to follow the lyrics. Or maybe, today I'll say hello and thank you in English, even if it's just practicing in the mirror.
Okay, I can see how that's not scary. But the question arises, is that enough? If I only learn 3 words a day, isn't that frilly slow? Could people get complacent?
That's a fair point, and the sources do address it. The goal of the tiny goal isn't maximum learning volume for that day.
Okay, what is it then?
It's about psychological momentum.
Yeah.
You set a goal you know you can hit, you hit it, you feel successful instantly.
The immediate win.
Exactly. That feeling of success is like a little reward for your brain. It makes you want to do it again tomorrow. It builds a sustainable habit based on positive reinforcement, not pressure.
So you're optimizing for consistency, not cramming. That makes sense. And that feeling of success ties into the next strategy, right? Celebrating.
Absolutely. Strategy 2, celebrate your progress. And this means really recognizing the win, however small.
Letting yourself feel good about it.
Yes, actively. The sources say give yourself a mental high five.
Yeah, I like that.
It's about internal validation, feeling genuinely proud that, hey, I know 1 more word today than I did yesterday. That matters.
It turns it from a chore into, well, they say a game, right? Where you're scoring little points each day.
Exactly. And if learning is a game, it should be fun, which is strategy 3. Make learning fun.
Because if it feels like homework.
Yeah, stop. The positive momentum dies, so you have to find ways to practice that you actually enjoy.
Okay, like what kind of fun things?
Well, they suggest stuff like watching short, simple movies with subtitles, something engaging but not too demanding.
Or music.
Yeah, listen to music, maybe find the lyrics online, try singing along. Singing actually helps with rhythm and pronunciation sometimes.
Right, engages different brain parts. What else?
Reading simple stuff, you like comics, kids' books maybe, or even playing video games in English. Lots of interaction there, low pressure.
The key is enjoyment then, not feeling like you have to do it.
Precisely. If you enjoy it, you'll stick with it.
Yeah.
And consistency ultimately is what gets you there.
Okay, so mindset, small goals, celebration, fun. Let's zoom out. What's the big picture advantage here? How does all this positive stuff actually make you learn better?
It comes back to that stress point we made earlier. The sources emphasize a happy brain is a learning brain. Meaning being positive makes you more relaxed. And a relaxed brain just learns better, period. When you take away the anxiety about performance...
You free up mental space.
Exactly. You free up cognitive resources. Your brain isn't busy fighting negative thoughts. It's open to actually absorbing and storing the new information. Stress literally blocks that process.
Okay, and that lack of stress, that positivity, it builds confidence, presumably?
Directly, which is crucial for language learning. It creates this upward spiral, this positive cycle.
What does that look like?
It's sort of. Positive thoughts lead to more confidence. Confidence makes you less afraid to try, to speak, to practice.
Even if you make mistakes?
Especially if you make mistakes, which leads to more practice, and more practice always leads to better skills. It feeds itself.
Okay, that makes sense. But what about when those negative thoughts do pop up? Because they will, right?
Yeah.
How do you fight back in the moment? The sources had some specific phrases, power phrases.
Yeah, like little tools you can use on yourself. So if you're listening or reading and just feel lost, instead of thinking, I don't understand anything,
Just look at two.
I will understand this soon. It keeps the door open. It implies future success.
I like that. What about accents? That's a huge source of anxiety for learners.
Oh, absolutely. So instead of thinking, my accent is terrible or I sound bad,
Yeah.
the reframe is, my accent is part of who I am. The important thing is to communicate.
Ah, that shifts the focus.
Yeah.
It's about being understood, not sounding like a native speaker.
Exactly. Communication is the goal, not perfection. If they understand you, you've succeeded. That's huge.
And one more. For those days when you just feel tired, burnt out.
Right. Instead of the drag of, ugh, I have to study now.
You think?
You think, I get to learn something new today.
Just changing have to get to.
It's small, but it makes a difference. It reframes it as an opportunity, a privilege, not a burden, puts you back in control.
These are good practical shifts. Now, what about other people? Does learning with others fit into this positive framework?
Definitely. The sources talk about finding positive learning partners or maybe a learning team.
Why is that important?
It's about social reinforcement. Having people around you who get it, who cheer on the small wins.
People who say, hey, nice job, instead of pointing out every little error.
Exactly. Friends who say, you're doing great, or I totally understood you. That kind of encouragement makes the whole journey feel less lonely and much more sustainable. Sharing the successes helps.
Okay, so bringing it all together, the core message is that this positive attitude, it's not just fluff, it's your guide, your strategy.
And you need to be your own main source of it, your own biggest fan, your own, what they call it.
Your own cheerleader in your head.
Yeah, that's it. You have to generate that positivity internally first.
But let's be real. Bad days will happen. Days where you feel completely useless, maybe.
Oh, for sure. Everyone has them. The advice for those days is really important.
Which is?
Be extra kind to yourself. Don't push through aggressively. Lower the bar.
So don't quit, but don't force it either.
Exactly. Set a tiny goal for that day, like ridiculously small. Maybe just listen to one song in the language or review 2 vocabulary words.
Just to keep the chain going.
Yes, the goal isn't big progress on a bad day. It's just continuity. Just keep going. Maintain the habit. Even if it's just coasting for a day, you didn't stop. You kept the engine idling.
Okay. That feels manageable.
Yeah.
So, wrapping this up, there was a final thought in the sources about comparison. We always compare ourselves to others, right?
Constantly. To the person who seems fluent, the one who picks up grammar easily.
But the sources say that's the wrong comparison.
Completely wrong. The only comparison that matters, the most powerful one, is comparing yourself to you yesterday.
Ah, So it's about your own progress, not how you stack up against someone else.
Exactly. Did you take one tiny step forward today? Did you learn one new thing? Did you reframe one negative thought?
Compared to where you were 24 hours ago.
Yes. If the answer is yes, even by a tiny margin, that is progress, real progress. And that is what's worth celebrating. That internal measurement, that's the key to staying motivated long term.